I'm sorry, we're late. We were in executive session from 6:30 to 7:35. There was also an executive session held last Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m., both to do with personnel issues.
Tonight's personnel.
And tonight was personnel issues too. I'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
No.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. That went out the pack summary. Yeah, that went out the pack. This way.
Tonight we were going to have a work session. We're also going to have an action meeting. And this is a special action meeting before our regularly scheduled work session. We will also be presenting proclamations to outstanding students. The meeting is being videotaped for community cable channels. Individuals attending this meeting and intending to speak to the board should be aware that they are being videotaped. In order to meet the requirements of the Pennsylvania Sunshine Law, it is necessary to record the names of all citizens who speak to the board during the meeting. To assure compliance with this requirement, it is essential that those planning to address the board come to the microphone, state their name and address, and sign the Audience of Citizens logbook. Members of the audience are asked to limit their questions and comments to no more than 5 minutes. This limit will permit time for those who wish to speak to the board. Whenever members of the audience exceed this time limit, the board president may ask the individual to yield the microphone to the next speaker. At this time, we'd like to move ahead with the proclamations. And the first proclamations this evening are these with your,
Yes.
Dr. Hester? Go ahead.
Yes. I'll begin tonight, and I'd like to ask Paul, Laura, and Joel Reiner to come up and just come all the way around and wait over there for a second. We have Paul here and Joel here tonight to honor them. They participated in what's called the ThinkQuest Internet Challenge. It's an international program for students ages 12 to 19 that encourages them to use the internet to create information, web-based educational tools and materials. The students form teams with their colleagues from around the world, so they can't just work alone by themselves at North Penn, and are mentored by teachers and other adult coaches. Well, the results was phenomenal. Both Paul and Joel are a member of a 3-member team that designed the educational website, an educational website. Of the 750 teams that submitted a website, which is, by the way, over 10,000 participants, 27 were chosen to attend the finals in Los Angeles, California in November. This team, including Paul and Joel, as well as a Parkland High School student, Dustin Sheffield, were awarded 3rd place, or the Silver Award, in the category called Interdisciplinary. Each of the 3 students was presented with a $5,000 college scholarship for this accomplishment. Their website, which was titled SLR Photography Online, and by the way, if you want to find it, it's at library.advance.org/25780, and I have that address here, is dedicated to education and the appreciation of the fine art of photography through the use of interactive features. The young men who were Penfield Middle School students at the time, last year, were coached by former Penfield Middle School teacher Karen Spire, Paul's father, and a Parkland High School teacher. And by the way, I did access the website, and I can't understand what they did. It's way beyond my competence. So I want to thank them, congratulate them, to be international winners and be representing North Penn as part of our technology efforts, but really your abilities are what made this happen. So congratulations, and why don't you come around?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations. By the way, this is Paul, Laura, and Joel Reiner. Congratulations.
I need that in.
Follow their stock.
Yeah, right.
I read your newsletter.
Yeah. They're in the newsletter, the district newsletter that's been sent to all the residents. So you can read the story there and access their website or give our office a call and we'll be able to give you that address again. Boys cross country, we have Coach Ron Jarros with us who will introduce his student. Coach Jarros.
It's always a pleasure to introduce one of our outstanding young men, an athlete, to the board for their accomplishments. Dave was second in the league meet, second in the district meet, third at the state meet, named to the all-state cross-country team. Those second places were to one of the top runners in the nation, just happens to be in our league. He doesn't need any introduction, so we won't introduce him. He's from Council Rock, so. Dave has been our top runner this year. He's a junior, so he'll be back next year, and we expect a lot from him in the way of leadership and performance. I'd like to introduce Dave Atkinson.
Coach Jarros, would you also come up? On behalf of the board and the administration, I'd like to thank you for the dedicated hours that you put in with our student athletes. Congratulations.
It's great.
At this time, we'll honor our girls' water polo athletes, and here to introduce them and present the award is Coach Bill Bartle and Denise Butterwhip.
Thank you.
Bill?
The girls' water polo team this year compiled a 20-3 record during the regular season, placed second in the Northern Division, and then placed second at the PIAA State Championship this past fall. We're also recognizing a boy this evening. He just wanted to point that out since we
Sorry.
say girls. That's okay. The boys' water polo team placed second this year in the Northern Division, and they placed fourth this past fall at the state tournament. The assistant coach, Denise Butterwick, will introduce the girls and boys.
The girls that we have with us tonight were members of our state team that participated in the state competition. The first one is Joanna Clayton. Colleen Good. Julie Good. Rebecca Grant. Our next member received first team All-State honors, Ashley Jernigan. And also receiving first team All-State honors, Brittany Jernigan. Kara Ketterer. Ashley McNeil. Receiving second team All-State honors, Jen Morelli. Gina Peterman. Receiving third team All-State honors, Katie Plewinski. And our final member, Lindsay Whitmer. And our male water polo player that we have tonight received honorable mention All-State, Jonathan Fakish.
There you go, Jonathan. Why don't you all come around and meet the board?
That's okay. Order.
We have some for you too.
Yes, we do. Congratulations. Thank you for your effort. I'd like to also thank Denise and Bill for, again, their hard work with our student athletes. Seems like Bill's up here all the time, and another new face to the podium is our band director, Ted Heller, who will introduce students from the North Penn Marching Knights.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I guess you don't understand the magnitude of this meeting until you look up and you see Bill Bartle in a suit. Hopefully you'll see it on TV. But anyway, good evening. This year, the North Penn Marching Knights, November, completed their third consecutive championship at Giant Stadium. It's the first time the Marching Knights have competed 3 in a row at championships. It's also the third consecutive undefeated season in the United States Scholastic Band Association. We're happy with that. The Marching Knights traveled to Hofstra and competed in a nationally recognized competition where they took 4th place overall. And when you put the whole scores together throughout the season, you put their score and compare it with all the other bands across the country, and they placed in the top 20 of all high school bands across this country. And as a side note, the Marching Knights in the first marking period, after we did all the calculations, 63% of the Marching Knights took honor roll. So we're very excited about that as well. So let me introduce our student leaders. Drum major, senior member, Anna Marie Cunningham. Senior drum major, senior and also the drum major, Brian Enline. Band president and also a senior, Jerry Clement. A senior as well and president of the band front, Holly Sensinger.
Why don't you come on around and meet the board?
Congratulations. Stay here, man. Before we let Ted go all the way around the table, I'd like to read to the audience. We had 2 special awards for Ted. since he gets one of these every year, I promise that we'll get something that looks a little bit different next year. But to the North Penn Marching Knights, it gives me great pleasure to join with family and friends in congratulating the North Penn Marching Knights for winning your third straight United States Scholastic Band Group 5 championship title. Your efforts as a band reveal a spirit of determination, hard work, and talented distinction. Our great Commonwealth was founded by citizens who believed in these ideals, and Pennsylvania continues to grow and prosper as we uphold these values as standards of excellence. Such a tremendous accomplishment is indicative of North Penn's commitment to maintaining the very highest standards of musicianship and skilled marching. As governor, I would like to take this opportunity to personally commend the members, instructors, parents, and supporters of the North Penn Marching Knights for helping to bring such community pride and distinction to the Commonwealth. On behalf of all Pennsylvanians, I extend my sincere congratulations to the North Penn Marching Knights on this outstanding achievement. Best wishes for continued success in all of your future endeavors. Tom Ridge, Governor.
We also have a citation for him from the House of Representatives. Whereas the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is always proud to recognize the achievements realized by the youth of this nation in the spirit of personal sacrifice, commitment to a goal and unity of purpose, and whereas the North Penn Area High School Marching Band recently captured its third consecutive United States Scholastic Band Association Group 5 Championship, and whereas under the leadership of Director Ted Heller, the Marching Knights won 4 of the 5 special awards, including Best Music, Best Marching, tied with Piscataway, High Overall Effect, and Best Percussion, and accumulated an overall score of 96.5, competing against bands from New Jersey, Connecticut, Virginia, and New York. In the Group 5 division, the organization won its 4th title in 5 years. Now, therefore, the House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania congratulates the North Penn Area High School Marching Band upon winning the United States Scholastic Band Association Group 5 Championship, heartily commends the board members and leaders of their ability, dedication, and tireless pursuit of artistic expression, offers best wishes for continued success in all future endeavors, and directs that a copy of this citation, sponsored by the Honorable Robert W. Godshall on November 17, 1999, be transmitted to the North Penn Area High School Marching Band, Valley Forge Road, Lansdale, Pennsylvania. Congratulations again.
I have one more. This one pales in comparison.
Nothing.
It's a award of merit for outstanding service to the North Penn School District for rendering meritorious service to the students and staff of the North Penn School District. Superintendent of Schools, Bob Hassel.
Somewhere in there, I think we missed a big thank you to all the parents for carting the kids around.
Definitely.
Really?
Chris? Unfortunately, tonight, Coach Mike Pettin wasn't able to be with us. He really shared his displeasure that he couldn't be with us because he really wanted to present Chris. So in his stead, again, this pales in comparison to what Coach Pettin would have said, but I will try my best. Next, we're honoring Chris McKelvey. You can see that he plays on the football team, obviously. I'm not going to mention any other sport and get angry parents and athletes angry at me if I compare him to another sport. But Chris has been a member of the North Penn Knights football team. As you know, the North Penn Knights football team had a tremendous last 2 seasons. This season, again, was outstanding. Lost 2 games to some team somewhere up the road here. But Chris was a big part of the success of this team for all the years that he played at North Penn. And Chris has really been honored with just about everything. Every time you pick up the paper, I read again, either Chris was All-League, All-State, and most recently, well, no, not most recently, recently Parade All-American selection. And again, to emphasize how important that is, the distinction is, people like Ron Dane of Wisconsin, the Heisman Trophy winner, was a parade All-American. LeVar Arrington from Penn State, and Emmitt Smith of the Dallas Cowboys. So you see what stead he stands in being selected to the parade All-American team, which is just unbelievable. And over the weekend, I had a chance to fly down to Florida and visit my in-laws, and I pick up a USA Today, and what do I read? He's one of the top 20 offensive players that have been named by colleges. He signed on early with Penn State, and again, no small task to have a college with the quality of Penn State saying, we make a commitment to you before the season ever starts. So Chris, on behalf of the North Penn School District, thank you for enjoyable years, and as a former lineman, even though of this petite size of
He must have lost a lot of weight.
and a few inches. I think former linemen only can sometimes know what it takes to be the quality lineman and what that does for a team. So I really enjoyed watching Chris for the last 2 years that I've been here, and we'll certainly miss him. Congratulations, Chris.
I know he's going to the pros. I want his autograph now. I'm not going to be shy. I know he's going. It's my board minutes from tonight.
So I hold an attorney for me.
Hold on, Chris. Since Vice President Mengel did this year I had a great opportunity to get the signatures of the North Penn High School football team. However, Chris decided to go somewhere like Penn State the day that I did this, and I missed him. So for my stepson, Danny, he'll kill me if I don't bring your signature home on this football. So. And your number. Yeah, thank you. Embarrassing.
Mine's there, Bob.
I can go home tonight. Oh, yeah. Where are we here now? Okay. And our final group of the evening is our thespian group, and Art Addison, co-sponsor of the troupe, will introduce our thespians. Art?
Thank you. Cindy Loudon, the theater director, could not be here tonight, but this was our troupe's 6th and most successful year competing at the Pennsylvania State Thespian Conference. Our troupe of over 40 students competed against 28 schools and over 900 other students. Through our troupe's hard work and dedication, we made state history by qualifying 100% of our troupe members to compete at the International Festival this year in Lincoln, Nebraska. This evening we have 14 of our students representing over 40 students of our troupe who have qualified. They are Adam Ardente for his monologue and group musical of Time Warp, James Favada for duet acting, group dance for the bottle dance from Fiddler on the Roof, and also the group musical, Cindy Herman for group dance and group musical, Molly Menti for a solo song and group dance, Nancy Mersch she was our model for our makeup design and group dance and group musical, Aurora Nestle for her costume design, and she was also part of group dance and group musical, Brian Patterson, he was chairperson for our troupe display, and he also had scene writing. Michelle Register was also chairperson for our troupe display and was a member of our costume building team. Sarah Spielvogel was inducted into the Actor Hall of Fame, and she was part of the group dance, group musical, and also a member of the costume building team. Jenny Stein She was duet song, group dance, and group musical. Blair Sterling was a member of the costume building team and group musical. Mark Weinstein is our troop president and an international thespian officer. He was elected to the state board and also a member of the Tech Hall of Fame. He had a publicity design which qualified for the international festival as well. Ryan Williams for duet acting, makeup design, group dance, and group musical. And finally, Stephen Winterhalter for duet song, group musical, and his logo design for this year's spring musical of Peter Pan. Our tickets will be going on sale.
Why don't you come around and meet the board?
You're welcome.
Here you are.
Good job.
Thanks. Dr. Venema just told me that he was going to play with a number of these students when they were at Penndale, so he takes credit for some of their ability.
Takes credit.
We're going to proceed with the rest of the meeting. We'll take a couple-minute break just in case anybody wants to leave. Or... No. Yeah, please, Terry. Promises.
Are we adjourned?
No, we're not adjourned.
You may be.
Just for your information, I continue to do any of the pre-organization. Sean Lucy, don't tell anybody.
She might have.
I just took a break. I didn't
Did
do
it for her a week ago. I'm getting you a
I didn't think it was taking this long a break. I just
I'm
didn't.
only giving you $5,000 and I'm getting you, excuse me, I'm sorry, an assistant technician, the vacant one. Well, you should sit on the road. So she's been there for a week. And Sean needs me not to tell that to anybody.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll just share that with you.
We'll take a five-minute break.
So, yeah, so,
Wrong person.
excuse me, I don't think.
Address the board. Seeing no one, we'll move right along with the superintendent's report.
Okay, this is a special action agenda. Under superintendent's report, recommend approval of Marjorie Scott as the extended school care coordinator at an annualized salary of $54,000 prorated for a 261-day position, plus full benefits effective no later than February 25th, 2000.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Sapinski and Mr. O'Donnell, any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
B, recommend approval to hire 2 assistant coordinators for the extended school care program.
Second.
Mr. Sapinski, Mrs. Prokowski, any questions?
Yes.
Yes.
Is there a particular reason why we're doing this and then hiring somebody right after this? I mean, is it extra? It seems like an extra line on the agenda for.
We just wanted to make sure we covered our bases and didn't hire a person before we approved the position.
Create a position then. Okay, gotcha. Just making sure.
Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
C, recommend approval of Kathleen Fay as the extended school care assistant coordinator, an annualized salary of $32,500, prorated for a 261-day position, plus full benefits effective no later than February 25th, 2000.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Sapinski, Mr. O'Donnell, any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
And recommend approval of additions and changes to the extra duty assignments for the 99-2000 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Prokowski, Mr. Schilling, any questions?
One question.
Yes.
I asked before, the only question I didn't get answered, Don, is on the weight training.
It is.
Spring.
Yes.
Is that co-ed?
It is
Yes.
co-ed, it's open to all the students over there, all the different sports teams, boys and girls.
Okay. And Dick's in there by himself?
Well, we put someone in there to chaperone them, is that what you mean?
Well, he's a weight trainer, right?
I'm sorry, he supervises it.
Right.
He supervises
But
it.
by himself, I'm talking staff-student ratio in that weight room.
He's the one that supervises it and would be the adult that's there, yeah. Now, of course, there's only so many stations at a time, so all the groups, share that time over the evening that they're there.
Okay, the only thing I'm questioning is the number of kids that use this, male and female. And you've got one guy in there that's great, he's probably one of the strongest guys around, he can lift the plate off of someone's head. I'm just concerned about that staff-student ratio. I'm almost wondering if there should be somebody in there, just another backup.
We haven't had a problem with it, he's done it for a while.
Don't
so.
they assign spotters?
I'll look into that, see if there's a problem.
As another spotter,
Don't they
if somebody ever had to lift floor on.
They assign student spotters, don't they?
They do have kids who help in that weight room, but I'll check on the adults.
If there's an accident, I wouldn't want to produce in court that our spotter was another kid.
As far as I know, he's the only one, but I'll look into it.
Yes.
Is this an intramural sport or a club?
It's an intramural activity. We list it that way. It's not necessarily a club. In order to compensate people to supervise students, we do it through the intramural system. So it's not really a intramural activity like we normally think about it, but he's there to supervise and to organize all the teams that come in and out of there. The coaches, by the way, Mrs. Mangle, are there as the teams are there.
Okay.
So there would be other adults
Then
there.
that's as clear
That's
an
probably
answer
how
as
it
for
happened.
me. Okay.
Any other questions? Yes.
I have a comment to make after this is done.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. Yes.
Yes,
Mr.
before we adjourn the meeting, I'm just very glad that we've hired these two individuals to start our base program, because I'm sure they bring,
Our extended school care program.
excuse me, extended school care program, because I'm sure they bring with the experience and the background so that we will not be written up again. I was in the building today and learned that the Department of Health was over, I believe, many of our schools, and I'm not sure what they call it, or write up a citation or whatever it is, for a refrigerator that is kept in one of our buildings that is not ours. We store it for, my understanding, the base program. And because of that, we're getting a citation. I want the newspaper to get this right.
Well, we probably wouldn't have gotten it at all.
But I want to make sure it's right. But in any event, we got it written up by the Department of Health, but it's really for a refrigerator kept by another organization. So I just want to, I'm very pleased we're getting this right. And if I don't have my facts right, Dottie, is that right?
There's no citation.
What do they call it?
Well, they write up a report every building. And if they find something, they put it on the report. If they find a violation. If they find a violation, what they do is they back out and check to make sure it's violation.
Okay.
And they do that with, they do it.
And so we only had the one violation? Okay, thank you very much. So I'm very glad that we're kicking off, we're getting these people with this experience, because our people are trained to deal with food, is that correct? Dottie? Our people are trained to deal with to handle food?
They have to take a certification course.
Okay, so our,
Safe certification, they teach themselves to report on the food and sanitation.
okay, so our people had, and we're not sure, whatever. All right, thank you very much.
Any other comments? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Adjourn.
Me?
First item, under the work session is support services. I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Schilling.
Of course, we have the appointment of architects, engineers, test for easement, Walton Farm, safe schools, security uniforms, construction.
Why don't you take each item and see if
I'm
there's
saying
any-
it's
Okay.
pretty self-explanatory here, as you can see. Item 13, what's that?
Did you record on card?
Yeah, we'll call up. Following projects, year 1 and 2, 5-year capital improvement plan, or need architectural or engineering design. Request for proposals, RFP, was sent out. The submittal is accepted for professional services in these projects. Board Service Committee recommends the appointment of the following professionals for the projects and at the cost listed. Do I have to read this whole thing?
No. Is there any,
Yes, question?
yes, are there any questions related to this? Go ahead.
Yeah.
John Strobel, can you please give us a time breakdown of these events? When you expect them to be, started and finished?
We hope we'll get them all underway by the beginning of the summer. They won't all necessarily be completed this summer.
Well, these are mostly summer 2000 projects. That's all I had to ask.
Question?
Yes.
What do we get for this money? Are we getting drawings? Are we getting, for instance, the York Avenue Lavatories here? Lump sum fee, $12,000 plus reimbursable expenses. What is it that our engineers and architects are doing for that? What are we presented with? What's the product?
First, they're going to look at the situation that they're going to rectify. They're going to develop the specifications and the plans. They're going to assist us with the bidding process and as a matter of fact, recommend the award of the bid to the board. Then they'll monitor construction as it goes.
So they end up being a general contractor type? Watching over things?
In some respects, yes, but we do most of the monitoring. They stop in for the job meetings, make sure things are progressing, following the codes.
Any idea of number of hours that roughly breaks down to?
It would be different for each project. I can
Right,
try
and
to
I
get
guess
that
that's
for
why,
you.
I would assume so, in that the prices are also different for each project.
I can try to get a handle on that for you.
Yeah.
Bruce, essentially, they're developing the plans and the specifications that the contractor will bid against. Of course, they're responsible for those plans and specifications, so if the contractor runs into a problem about the specifications, he has to deal with that with the architect. That's how the architect is part of the supervision.
Okay.
Because of his plans, they have to build them towards his plans.
Thanks. Thank you for that clarification.
Any other questions relative to this item? Yes, Mr. Shear.
Well, again, I guess it's similar to what he's asking in that we're looking at what seem like minor jobs, like door replacements at Pembroke, Penfield, and Inglewood. And it's talking about that we're gonna hire Bonet Associates as an architect engineer for the replacement of doors at a lump sum of $6,000 reimbursable expenses. That looks to me, that seems to me like a job you'd go out and buy the doors and not involve an architect and engineer to replace them. So there's gotta be a lot more to this work than what we're seeing on this piece of paper.
If it was one or two doors, you might be right, but we're talking about 12 pairs of doors that are at ramps. They're actually fire exits. And we propose these doors would stay open and mechanically close if the fire alarm goes off or the smoke alarm goes off near the door. So there's engineering that needs to be done for the electrical work, the fire alarm work, as well as the door work.
Bill's a door guru.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, any comment there on the doors?
Shut
I
case,
mean, John, yes.
Are you doing frames though?
Yes.
If you're doing frames, then it almost sounds like a bargain, because if they do it properly, they have to specify structure to hold the frames and its connection to the building. You have to design firewall and going through it now with electrical wires and make sure that's done correctly. So there's more to it than just hanging doors on hinges.
No, but is it these $6,000 and reimbursable expenses? Is that $6,000 just for the architect engineering work, or is this supposed to be including the job
No, it's the
and the
architect.
materials?
That's the architect's work.
Any other questions on this item? Moving forward to action meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Next item, John.
All right, the easement, request for easement Walton Farm Elementary School. As it says here, Mr. Bonenberger, President W. Mills, is seeking a zoning change in Talmadge Township to allow him to develop a 68-unit age-restricted active adult community with parcel adjacent to Walton Farm Elementary School. He has requested the Board of School Directors consider granting an easement across the grounds of Walton Farm to allow him to connect the walking trail, which will encircle the development, with the public sidewalks along Allentown Road or along our entrance driveway. The purpose of the easement would be to grant the residents of the proposed development easier access to the new township park, which is proposed to be located at Allentown and 40-foot Road adjacent to Jacob Woods Apartment Complex. Should the board look favorably upon this proposal, the administration will communicate the same to Mr. Bonenberger, and and work out an agreement satisfactory to Mr. Bonenberger and the board and solicitor, and bring that agreement back for the board's approval. You can see in the back here how the trails are connected to the board in regards to this proposal.
The board, any questions on this item?
Yeah, just in light of an easement, do we get anything for it? Any concession or any trade or any
He didn't indicate.
charitable gift for exchange of this for a lifetime?
Donna, we kind of thought that the gift was, it's an age-restricted community and there won't be a lot of children coming to our school. To me, that was worth the money.
There you
If you
go.
look on the back here, it's just so they can walk along here, be access to the park, excuse me.
Usually there's some sort of a give and a trade or a
Well,
gift or something,
yeah.
there's usually
Still
something.
has a point.
Oh, I get that. I know he could have made that.
Do you want us to seek something, or?
Mr. Gord, you got a question?
Is there any issues of liability here? Crossing our property if any accident were to occur?
This came up at the committee, and I
Well-
think they said as long as the solicitor looks at it.
Right, in other words, we want the solicitor to evaluate if the agreement.
The agreement will come back.
If there is, then we'll consider that.
Because we could probably get that written in that they
Absolutely.
absolve us of, if
Also
they
the
could prove,
maintenance.
if they could prove they're
If
out
we can, I
walking
mean,
for that
that's,
purpose.
you know, the solicitor will evaluate that.
Okay, good.
I have concerns about how close is this walkway to the school, to the kids playing outside, for their personal safety?
The map there, what you see where it says Walton Farm Elementary School, that's our driveway. You know that's very long.
Right.
Mountain Road into the parking lot.
How far in from Allentown Road is it? Why isn't it?
Well, actually, they
On the
have two
corner.
sites proposed there. One goes right out to Allentown Road, and the other one is down to walk on our driveway.
Do they want both or just one?
One or the other.
Give them the one on Allentown.
Is support of the township's walking trails that if it weren't for them having this development pay for the connection that the township itself would have moved forward with anyway?
I don't know that.
Because I know they're connecting trails all the way from my development at Morris and Valley Forge Road, and the intent is to carry it all through the parks. And I'm just wondering if they did negotiate for this to be done.
Well, it says here that they will, talk to the township.
One of the
Right,
other issues
it may
that
be
we
that the
addressed
township
at this
bargained for
sports
it.
services meeting was, they're developing a very large portion of property adjacent to us. They're gonna have public sidewalks in there. We're obviously getting the revenue without any cost generation to us because it's a senior community. And they wanted to basically, as part of their design, they have a walking trail completely around the circumference of this property tied into their public sidewalks. They want to allow one access, possibly two, I think, to our adjacent property. All we're getting is more public sidewalks where we have nothing. So that might be to our advantage, but to be honest with you, I went and drove by the site just to see what it is. There's not a lot of walking traffic there, other than the neighborhood, which is at the other end of the property.
correct.
Oh,
So,
I don't know, if this is really gonna put a tax on us, other than just to plug their walking trail into what we already have as existing.
It's out by Hebner Way, right?
That's correct.
Yes, it borders from one side there to the Allentown side.
Is there any possibility that once we go this far that we're then gonna get hit for lighting or anything like that to make the area safe, John? Because I've seen that happen before.
There's lighting along our driveway and all the way along our property.
Well, I know we put in one when it was developed, I remember the planning for that. You don't see any additional off-street in Colset. Okay.
Any other comments on this subject? Bring it forward for action?
Yeah.
Third item.
Okay, uniforms, for security personnel. As recommended earlier this school year by the Safe Schools Task Force, district security personnel should be a visible part of our school community. Security personnel currently are issued dress blue uniforms, formal police-type uniforms, for use during extracurricular community events. Their current daily dress would not necessarily identify them as security or even as a staff member. In order to identify these individuals and to increase the awareness of the security presence in our buildings, it is recommending that the district provide an adequate number of polo shirts and a jacket, soft uniforms for each security officer. The shirts and jacket would be embroidered with North NPSD security over the left breast. Facilities Department uniforms were awarded to Clemens Uniforms, this year based on the lowest proposal. It would seek to purchase security shirts and jackets from Clemens Uniform That costs around $1,700 for all security staff members. The recommendation here is recommend approve to purchase security soft uniforms from Clemens Uniform for each security staff member. Excuse me.
Am I missing, you have no pants? Am I reading that there's no pants with this uniform?
Leotards, no.
What about pants? Seriously, what is it?
Well, I don't know, I guess they have pants right.
Anybody want to see what it looks like? John was nice enough.
Here you go, here they are right here. I kind of like it myself, you know, I think.
And also the
You want security on it?
Security.
and the embroidery for what they're planning on doing.
Hey, we'll put that on 2 on each shoulder.
I've got news. When I asked Bob just to pick maroon rather than our school colors of light blue on dark blue, he wouldn't fess up, but he was wearing a wine-colored sweater that night when I asked, so.
No, actually, that was a consideration by the safe school task force, is that we wanted to be different from the rest of the staff so that everybody knew who security was in the building.
Our security are also in 4 of our buildings currently. We may have them in other buildings as well, so it's not all the same color. Pembroke, Pendale, and Penfield don't have the same school color.
I still do. When you wear a jacket and you're wearing the polo shirt, how many of our students are actually in a formal dress anyway? That's why I didn't understand why they wouldn't stand out with the more traditional police security colors.
Any other questions,
Yeah.
comments? Yes, Terry.
One comment about the maroon. We have a customer that has chosen maroon sweatshirts, and in trying to get them, we've had a significant amount of problem getting them. So I don't know if we can, maybe with us buying all these, they'll come back in style again, but maroon has been a tough color to get, so.
Everything's pastel.
Ash is the color.
I recommend we move it forward.
Gonna move forward. Any other comments?
Right.
Before we move forward, David. Last item.
Last but not least, Construction Management Services, North Penn High School track project. Members of the Board of School Directors indicated desire to have Arthur Wood provide construction management.
Who?
Mr. Wood, right there. There he is.
Oh.
Oh, Tiger.
Oh, I remember.
There he is.
Oh, wait.
Provide construction management services for the restoration of the North Penn High School track. To that end, Mr. Wood was contracted to see if he would be interested in providing those services. Mr. Wood returned a proposal for same indicating his desire to provide services for a lump fee of $6,500 plus reimbursable expenses. It is recommended that the approval of Arthur Wood as construction manager for the North Penn High School track restoration project at a lump fee of $6,500 plus reimbursable expenses.
Any questions, comments? Bring it forward to the action meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, just one question. Art, make sure you meet with Vince Cotter and the band, and make sure you have every issue addressed at once, so we don't have to have somebody show up after we're done the project. Absolutely.
Don't leave out the U.S. Naval Academy.
Oh, yeah, I met with the.
You know, I just wanted to mention that I was afraid that when Art retired, that he'd be out antiquing and fishing and whatever. He promised to do this project, but I wasn't so sure he was gonna be able, I thought he was just being a nice guy. I wasn't sure you could really come back, Art, because I know that you've gone on your way.
His wife told him he had to come back.
Yeah, she said, that's, yeah. Barb sent you back, right?
Kicking him out already.
There you go. Go get fresh air, Art.
Community relations.
I will turn this portion over to Mr. Rusnak, who has waited patiently to have a moment to speak.
We're proposing that we change the board policy number 5111, the age of entrance. There was a clause in there that referred to evaluating students using a test that we are no longer using. So what our recommendation is that we remove that portion of the policy.
Any questions or comments? Bring it forward to the action meeting?
What's the cutoff date for kindergarten children?
September 15th.
It's still the 15th? And so what if you have a child born September 16th? What do you do about that?
We do have a procedure and a policy for that, and that's what this addresses, is early entrance into kindergarten.
Evaluation.
It's this
It's
policy.
the evaluation.
Okay.
That's what this is.
Related to that, I've been asked before, when did that change? I know back in my days, it was the end of January was Pennsylvania entrance deadline. It used to be in January, now it's been moving up.
The district
September
thing.
15th.
District policy, district sets that.
So the state, what is the state?
The state has left it up to the
Birth date
district.
deadline for a 5-year-old? You mean that's at our discretion as to whether or not we move it as early as September 15th or September 30th?
And what research has indicated is that you want to have youngsters have fully developed as possible for developmental reasons until they start school. And that's why many school districts have moved it to beginning of September, middle of September, rather than keeping it as it was February 1st even at one point.
Right.
So
That's what it
I
is.
think as we as educators have learned more about kids and how they develop, we have adjusted our age of entrance policy accordingly.
Okay, but that's still a new piece of information. I thought it had moved because the state had changed the deadline, and when in fact that's discretionary from different school district to school district. Thank you.
Yep.
Is there anybody in the audience that has any comments related to any of these subjects under the work session?
Am I schizo or what?
I just have one quick,
Yeah.
Lou?
Yes.
Who does our testing? ANPR tutoring?
Testing for this program?
Yeah.
We do.
We do that?
Yes. We do it internally. The procedures are that we have our guidance counselor come in and do an evaluation, which will do the first step now. The second step will be followed up by one of our school psychologists who will do an evaluation.
Thank you.
One other comment, there is a board committee called the NPEA Contract Review Committee. That committee has had 2 meetings to date with the solicitor reviewing the existing contract, and when they have completed that review, they will bring that information forward to the board with their comments.
Just one final comment, if I could have Christine put my name on the list, on that committee.
I saw this today.
Thank you.
Oh, jeez, Frank.
Just you can take mine off.
Oh, my God.
Mr. President?
Yes.
I was notified by the Dr. Harkin at the IU that I was accepted to the board for the intermediate position. For the short term, I'm going to need to come before the board again and ask for your nomination for the June election, and hope that you will all support me.
It will be unanimous.
And vote. I kind of told them it probably would be.
Bruce, it's not like making varsity.
I know.
There's no problem with us sending you down there, believe me.
I know, but I just need to make
You
sure
gotta
that
see
you're
the
all ready
language.
and you're
Yes,
aware of
Bruce.
it and you're all
You are
gonna
aware that
vote.
our
When
votes
should it
are
go on the
weighted,
agenda?
and then with
And we only
with us
vote
in
for
a
one person.
unified vote,
Yeah.
you're on.
Right, I know. So we need to
Do
get
you
the
really
vote
want
in,
us to
so.
vote for you?
Yes, I want you to vote for me. I think it's
We have
important that
confidence.
North Penn have representation on the IU, and I'm
That's
happy
great.
to
That's
do
great.
it.
Absolute
Sure,
confidence.
they have all our money.
You'll see it come before you on an upcoming action meeting. Thank
Yes,
you.
thanks for bringing that up. Anybody else have anything?
Don,
Yes.
on that MPAA, I was asked whatever happened was there any result of the performance-based memorandum of understanding from the last contract?
I will
We
speak to
never
the
heard
chairman of that
anything more
committee.
about that. It was supposed to come forward with a report in June of '99. I don't even know if the committee went anywhere.
I can tell you the preliminaries of it.
With the union?
Beyond that, I don't believe they're ready to make a recommendation.
No.
But we had
And it was
meetings,
supposed to be
we
a joint
traveled to
memorandum.
different school districts, we examined plans from all over the state and outside the state.
Was there collaborative
We met-
effort with
we
the
met- we
union
had
though
meetings.
itself?
Yes, we had meetings with the MPA to discuss different issues with them, and I know that they continued to meet all through 1999. Now, since then, I do not believe they've scheduled anything now, but Don Veneman could probably give us a better update.
There's been no further discussion since those original conversations on that topic. We've been looking at an evaluation plan within the district of the staff, but not that
NPEA.
particular thing. NPEA, yeah.
Anything else?
Just like to ask a general question. I saw a comment in the paper last week about kids carrying cell phones. And I was at our policy meeting the other day, and I know we didn't have any changes there. We basically say, no, they're not allowed unless they get special permission from the superintendent or assistant superintendent. I think the article in the newspaper said some schools are now considering allowing kids to have them as long as they don't use them during the daytime, and so the kids don't call each other up, hey, what's the answer to this test?
You should bring that concern forward to the policy. We are discussing the issue of cell phones, beepers, lasers, everything under the sun, pagers. That issue is probably more well placed at that committee level. But I know what you're talking about. I read the same article where they're trying to rethink it. That leaves open the door for a lot of discussion.
Like a lot of input from.
I'm not as concerned about prohibition on cell phones as I am the rest of the electronic devices that were in that policy. I mean, you'd have to get permission for an organizer or a calculator.
Mr. Shapitsi's going to cover all those items this year in this committee.
February 29th at 6 o'clock.
Jay's working on it.
Any other items? Hearing none, motion adjourned?